Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to check out the Stone Garden on my Solo Sorc. This is one of the new dungeons. When this here is Tamriel, Western Skyrim, Blackreach, and then Stone Garden is here. As you can see, the Solo Sorc setup changed a little bit because I'm testing out new things and because Sauce changed some of the abilities. It's mostly the big difference that you will notice is that there is no real spammable anymore. Like previously we used Crushing Shock or Force Pulse, or for example Elemental Weapon. But we don't need it anymore because they changed Crystal Fragment. So let me explain real quick before we start the dungeon. The cool thing about this is the cast time is 0.8 seconds now, so it's faster than before. And channeling this can actually instantly proc the Crystal Fragment proc. So casting a magic ability has a 35% chance, causing your next Crystal Fragments to be instant, deal 66% more damage and cause 50% less magicka. Just very nice. And now another new thing when we read the first text. Conjure Dark Crystal to bombard an enemy dealing 10k magic damage. Your next non-ultimate ability cast within 3 seconds costs 10% less. When I actually used a spammable, I had, like, sustain got tougher, but with Crystal Fragments, it's actually not that big of a deal. Because first off, when we get the insta procs, it will be cheaper, and then it will also reduce the cost of our next ability by 10%. So there's just so much stuff put into, like, Crystal Frag, it's pretty crazy. Just overall, it felt a little bit weird at first, because I was just like, where's my spammable? Kinda got that feeling. Can you die? Good job. So with the solo builds in general, I always use shock staves, and a lot of people wonder why do you use like shock staves on solo, but in a group you use the others. That's mostly because you can do heavy attacks on these things that do AoE damage, and you restore a lot of resources while doing so. Whereas in a group setting you don't really need that. The sustain comes through something else, like bubbles and so on, and you don't really need AoE damage. Now you can see sometimes when I'm actually casting frags, it immediately procs another one, which is cool. I really like what they did with the dungeon. It looks pretty sick. Both dungeons are very nice in general. Another nice thing here is that, like, when you use the Scamp, when you actually activate the ability, like, it deals AoE damage, and then the last pulls will apply a stun on all the trash packs, which is nice. This guy here, Exarch Kraglen, keep up your shield and you should be fine. He drains your magicka, it's quite a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Dodge all this heavy attack, or this challenge attack. This dungeon in general has a lot of like magicka drain mechanics, which is a little bit annoying. I actually wonder if I could face tank, the heavy attack, this one, let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage. I mean, I still blocked, so... Could probably use like tri-stat potions here just to get more stamina. Okay, let me not block. Yeah, just spam shield and you're good to go. It does hurt. If you don't keep your shield up, you're pretty much dead, I would say. His channeled ability is a little bit weird, it's very delayed, so if you actually dodge roll too soon, you still might get hit. But it's still not really an issue at all. Whenever you drink a potion, you and group members gain 42 ultimate. Okay, okay. Next up, it really feels weird, like, because I have been playing Magic as Sorcerer for so long and not using a spammable that procs crystal fragments. It's just so weird. Like, it feels like there's something missing, kinda. So that beam drains your magicka a little slowly. Because this game is so desynced, even if you don't stand in the circle, it might still drain it. So it's a pain in the ass. It's like always, even often, like, I'm sure you also had these issues where like, okay, I did not stand in this and I still get hit. Like, why? Yeah, that's because the server and the client is desynced. So currently I'm using Bound Ages here just to get more max magicka, but for example, like I could slot the execute here too. Gloomspore Agaric. So there's a cool mechanic in this dungeon. You wanna farm some mushrooms to get the party going. There's my guy. High five, I guess. So this is the first time. He's gonna transform into a Stone Garden Curator. The cool thing about this is, and dodge roll this, always dodge roll the heavy attacks if you can. And now you can actually transform into a Werewolf Behemoth. Pretty cool. The abilities feel very clunky to use, though I do hope they actually fix that. Now do AoE Stomp, Stun, or whatever the fuck it's called. Bad Breath Attack. And he dead. Ultimate. The shizzle hits hard, it's like... yeah, 461k damage. Seems balanced. I hope they will make the Werewolf Behemoth a little bit better, because it's quite annoying to not have like... the skills don't... when you press a button and nothing happens, it's annoying. So... let me see. Nah. Maybe we have to listen to the roleplay first. This is the end boss there. Scary guy. Let's see. Maybe I need a lockpick. Door is locked, but you don't have the key or any lockpicks. That sucks, but we are on the public test server. So there is a simple solution to that problem. Where are the consumables? I really recommend, guys, like, if you're on the PTS, or like just in general, I would always recommend testing on the public test server if you have access to it. On the other hand, you have to re-download the whole game, which might be a little bit annoying. But like it's way easier to just create setups and so on. There's a Blood Knight. What are they doing here? These guys actually do plenty of damage. Dead. You wanna make sure to pick up the Blood Knight Ichor to mix something. Examine. Okay, it's hating on me. Let me turn this off. Okay, I figured it out. I didn't have enough of these mushrooms. So when this is like glowing, you know you have enough of the ingredients. Examine alchemy equipment. Add 13 stinkhorn to the gloom spore and blood knight mixture, just like the mushrooms, and I think you need 3 to make that here. Could also do this, but then you transform into a werewolf for a short time. But if you use the one down here, you're actually getting a buff, so your spell damage and the weapon damage increases, and then as a werewolf behemoth, your swipe and mutilate attack now deals additional cold damage. It also boosts your werewolf form even further, which is pretty cool. Again, this here is kind of your flex spot. If you want to use Streak, you could use Streak. If you want to use like Liquid Lightning or Lightning Flood, you could also do that there. Whatever you want. We have the freedom now. You could also keep using the spammable, it doesn't really matter that much. But they hit quite hard, but do a heavy attack, use the shield, do a heavy attack, use the shield. Problem solved. Number one thing, always keep your shield up. Then you can't die pretty much. Gloomspore, a Garrick. Need more. Shielding is probably one of the most OP mechanics in this game by miles. That's usually why Magicka setups are a lot easier to play. Because it gives me 11, like a hardened war gives me 11k shield every time activated. And as long as I have magic, I can spam this forever. That was cool. Crystal. Now it felt really smooth. Even Crystal Frag, insta procs, a lot. Very nice flow of combat. Actually, let me get the mushroom first. Always apply Elemental Drain on the big monsters. Elemental Drain doesn't cost anything to cast, but it will give you sustain back. Like, you get 300 magic every second, that's a buttload. And it also increases the damage on the enemy, because his spell resistance is debuffed. That guy here is quite annoying to deal with. There is, again, a lot of magic drain. And he also has a very strong attack that can one-shot you. When he puts his like eye out, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, this one. You gotta dodge roll a little bit sooner than when the explosion happens. Otherwise you might die. Now it's the small stone husk that drains your stuff, so you could dodge roll because of the explosion. It's probably a lot easier if you kill him, and you see now all of my magic is pretty much gone. Dodge roll. I think you could shield up and block and it will not kill you, but let's not try this. Now you'll see I will always do the heavy attacks. Dodge roll. Okay, I didn't. The PTS is just always desynced. Like that should not really have hit me there yet. Okay, dodge roll. Okay, that guy is dead. Next. As long as you keep critical search up, it will always heal you when there is like an ability on the ground or you deal some sort of damage to him. And in case your health drops low, shield up and you will be fine. Let's dodge roll. Kill this guy. If you go max kick cutter build, you probably could just burst down the boss. That might also work. Dodge roll. Ooh, that was close. Okay. And if you have seen, I have always applied consuming trap on the enemy before he dies. So I get all the sustain back. 7k instant, no problem. Keep elemental drain up. That's why this dungeon is a little bit annoying, because like there's so many resource drain mechanics. On the other hand, you're not meant to solo this, so if you're playing in a group you should probably be fine anyway. I could have slotted Dark Deal too. That would be another option that you always can consider when you play solo. Instead of the Execute, you can also use like a Dark Conversion or Dark Deal. You transform stamina into health and magicka. So every time you cast this, you lose like 2k stamina, but you get 5k, 6k magicka back and 8k health. That's a lot. So it could also kind of function as a secondary heal or something like that. Dropping the meteor, boom! Meteor is cool. So that's why I always say, try out different abilities. Gloomspore, Agaric. There's a lot of variants or versions you can play this build. Same with sets at the moment. I have False God on, Mother Sorrow, and Iceheart. You could totally use other sets. Okay, good job. You still made it. Once again, we are in this room where we can craft a special potion. Always dodge roll these heavy attacks that they do, because they actually hurt. So if you're shielded up, you should be fine, I guess. Vitalizer flow. I'm actually not 100% sure what this does yet. Maybe I should do a run where I don't activate this. Pick up the Blood Knight organ. And now we can mix together some other healthy ingredient. Add 13 Spider Eggs to the Gloomspore. Bottom up, no problem. Magic and standard recovery is increased by 400. As a Werewolf Behemoth, your ultimate generation is increased by 60%. This might not be super important for like normal mode, but when you're doing veteran or even veteran hard mode, these buffs can make a huge difference. Difference. Sorry. Dead. Oh no, not dead. Okay. It's so weird weaving crystal frags. It's so weird. But it works. And it's actually good damage. Yo, bit slap. Stone throw. Big boy stomp. Mouth breathe. Bad breath. Everybody died, of course.
No sign of Arkasis yet. Keep going. I'll follow your trail.
Hey, no problem. Let's charge in. Yeah, now my ultimate is one shot everything. Okay. So when they're burning, they're doing more damage. Let's move. The nice thing about Boundless Storm is also that first of it gives me resistance, this damage, and it gives me speed buff so I can move faster. It doesn't slow-mo walk through the whole dungeon. Shield up when your health drops low. And pretty much the only heal I have is critical surge. And it's more than enough. If my health drops too low, I will just use my shield and wait for my health to drop back to 100. There is obviously also Consuming Trap that gives me a small heal from time to time.
I think I found some old notes. Really old.
When these... Ooh, they double bitch slapped me there, huh? No problem. Use ability, use a shield. Use an ability, use a shield. Oh. I was like, how... Oh, wow. I must have forgotten one of the buffs. This is the last boss. Interesting. Let me go back. Yeah, here. We gotta go up. There's 3 buffs in total you can get. I mean, you don't need to do them, but it will make everything a lot easier. Force lock. Lockpick failed. Hmm. Can we do it? Of course. Master Thief. How we doing? And when they charge a heavy attack, it always takes around like 1 second for things to kinda go off. Okay, pick out the Blood Knight's brain. Delicious ingredients. I can't believe we are actually drinking this. Add 13 luminous Russula. Kawabonga. This last buff is called Alchemist Super Resilience. 3500 max health, 6% damage reduction. As a Werewolf Behemoth, the health recovery bonus granted by the form is increased by 200%. Let's turn off this stuff. I'm still not sure what it actually does. Maybe it debuffs the boss at the end? Something like that? More Gloomspore. I actually wonder if they get placed in your inventory or they just get removed after this. Okay, I'm running the right way to double check. Just as a small reminder. For example, like I'm still using the expensive spell power potions, but I don't really need them because I have critical surge. And another possibility was like if I just would use cheap potions or tri-stat ones, I could just use Inner Light here, right? To get my Major Prophecy that I get now from the spell power potions. Okay, we got a transform. Let's go. A poor body. Okay, we gotta destroy these things. It'll take a while. I mean, usually it doesn't take that long because the 4-player dungeon. If you're 4 people, not that big of a deal. Okay, that guy died, I guess. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. I hope that guy has a lot of flex tape. Fix all his broken shit. So number 5 ability is like a heal. This one. Stompity, boom! The number 1 is a taunt, basically. The number 2 is a charge. And the 3 is AoE stun. The 4 is a stone throw. The cone, pretty much. You need this for these shock balls that you gotta destroy. Now it doesn't really matter that much, but when you're doing this on veteran, if you don't destroy these, you're kinda gonna get wrecked. Come on, you can do it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's not rip yet. Ultimate, there's one more. That's it. Oh shit, my bad breath. Abilities over. I'm actually not sure if you can keep the ultimate or not. These guys are so annoying. There we go. It also killed him, funny. It also debuffs the enemy. Wolf's Bane. Alchemist. Okay, this is basically the Endboss. Doesn't really hurt that much on normal. Except his heavy attack that you also can dodge roll. But if you shield up, it's probably also fine. This one, just dodge roll it or shield. Then you're good to go. Ooh, that actually hurt, huh? Kill that guy. So you have seen I placed Consuming Trap on the small mob before it died, so I get like 7k magicka back. Always gotta make sure. So now we gotta deal with these 4 stone husks. They're not that big of a problem on normal. But on veteran you cannot stack these. Because they will pretty much like connect. Do some sort of AoE damage. It will fuck you up. But here on normal they don't. Like this here would usually kill you that he does now. So you gotta interrupt it. Because in normal no mechanics matter if you have a proper build, then you know, whatever. I can just face tank everything. Stomp. Smash. Leap. More bad breath. Every time you use the ultimate, all the abilities actually the timers reset. And every time you use an ultimate, you also get more. Wait, is he? Oh, he's still alive. Okay, sure. I hope they will make the animations a bit smoother. I high-fived all of them. Next. I think we'll get one more round of this. Yeah. Always keep up your back bar buffs. And your shield. A lot of people have trouble bar swapping and stuff, but you gotta get used to it. If you wanna become a decent player. Oh, that's funny, I actually never seen this, lol. He's actually throwing potions on the ground. Interesting. Ooh, that hurt. Dodge roll. Shield up, rebuff. Ooh. Oh, I think it's these guys. Okay, yeah, so... Probably should kill them before they start burning, because they do a lot of damage. Again, dodge roll saved my ass there. A one-shot can become 0 damage with dodge roll. Dodge roll is so fucking OP. Same for blocking. It reduces damage so much. You just gotta get used to it. In case of doubt, dodge roll. Solves most of the problems in this game. Some things cannot be dodge roll though, but most of it can. Let's go, boy! Stomp. My heal. AoE stun. I actually like this mechanic. I was surprised to see that they... Oh, I got it again? Maybe it didn't go off. Yeah, fucked out. Happy hands. It's kind of like the Briarheart effect. It even has the same sound effect. I just noticed, like when it heals you. It's quite hilarious. Let's kill these minions first. Okay, so this is the last round now. Or is there one more? Let's see. Oh no, he's gonna get grilled in there now. Oh boy. That doesn't look healthy. He's also a Sorc. Why are Sorc so OP, dude? Dodge roll this, maybe, probably. Yeah, why not? Just keep moving because there's AoE shock field. Ooh, dodge roll this. Dios míos, it almost got me. Oh, it's just stunned, so it's not that big of a deal. Because if he has to run to you, then he barely can do damage because it's a melee guy. And he's dead. Kraglen's amulet. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's definitely one of my more favorite do you say more favorite? I just like the looks of it. The magic drain is a little bit annoying. I think it will wreck a lot of people, especially people that are bad with resource management. So I hope they might tune that back a little bit. Because like 2 bosses have magic drain, that kind of sucks. Maybe 1 would be enough. But yeah, this is Stone Garden. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe. The Solo Sorc build is on the website, like always, on alcasthq.com, by the way. In case you want to go check it out. It might get some small adjustments. This is still on the public test server, so we are not sure if more changes will come. Maybe they will change crystal frags again, so we might re-implement the spammable. Or if I feel like, well, with spammable it just feels better, I might just place it again. But it's just crystal frags. The extra juicy sustain you get is very good. So anyway, thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.